All right. You're tuning in to the Chit Chat Chew Show with your co-host Uno and
Jade.
all right. So hope you guys tuning in. The show's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's gonna be a very great show tonight. I will be interviewing the lovely Miss Jade Royale.
Hey, everybody.
So
I'm silly right now.
yeah, the school she's waving at the tablet, so
If you see me on Facebook Live, I'm waving to you.
might not be
Hi.
able to see me well, but that's okay.
No, we want to see you too. Get
My
yourself in
shoulder
there.
showing.
Get yourself in there now. Okay, okay. Yeah. I think we good. You got to come a little closer, just a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
probably what it is.
Yeah.
Come a
Just
little closer
don't
in.
be scared. Don't
Yeah,
be
no, I ain't gonna
scared.
be scared. I ain't gonna be scared. All right, so she is a advocate, activist, humanitarian, and an entrepreneur. And we're doing this interview for mental awareness. Well, mental awareness month.
Mental health.
Mental health awareness month. Excuse me.
That's okay.
So we want to honor that this month, and she's going to speak on, mental illness and having awareness to it, and speaking about her story, as far as her dealing with mental illness and how it came about in her life. When did she discover it? And that's pretty much it, guys. So, alrighty, okay, here we go.
Can I put the plugs in first before you start?
Yeah, go ahead, put the plugs in.
Okay, so again, we both welcome you to Chit Chat Chew Show. That's live every Monday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm actually, like Uno said, getting interviewed by her. We're just having a real conversation about something that's very taboo, especially in the black community. But I'm going to do my best to speak in general about it, but I am going to touch on the black community. And so with that, every Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can actually call in live to ask me questions, to give the radio show a shout out, to give me a shout out. It really doesn't matter. You can do so by calling in at 404-474-0080. Again, 404-474-0080. You take it away, and how else they can chime in.
Alright, so for you guys to chime into the show, make sure you download the app Audio, AWDIO, on your phone. Once you download the app on your phone, search the show name Chit Chat Chew, and it'll plug you right in where you can stream the show live. Also, for the LGBTQ community and allies, you can go to www.gaytvatl.com. All you got to do is search our show, Chit Chat Chew, and you stream live. So make sure you support, tune in, get the word out about our show. And I want to also plug in this too. So we do have social media pages. I want to go ahead and plug that in real quick before we get into this interview. Alright, so our Facebook page is Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. Please go like our page, share it, like it. We appreciate it. We also have an Instagram at Chit Chat Chew Show. Please go like it. We also have a SoundCloud, so everything is updated on there. So any shows that you miss, you'll be able to catch up. We also have a Vimeo at Chit Chat Chew Show. We have a YouTube, which is Jade Royale Uno content. So JADEUNO space ROYALECONTON. Again, JADEUNO space ROYALECONTON. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share. And we also have a Twitter, which is at chit_chat_chew. Please go like us on Twitter. And you can plug them in on the Etsy and the website.
So as far as Chit Chat Chew, we have a Etsy website. We have soaps that we are selling. That's vegetarian, vegan based. And you can go to www.etsy.com. Again, that's www.etsy.com. You go in the search box and you type in Chit Chat Chew Shop. Again, that's Chit Chat Chew Shop. We appreciate you in advance. We hope that you purchase the soaps, and we're looking to do more with that as far as t-shirts, accessories. We're just really looking to expand our businesses because we believe in um, multiple multiple income, a multiple stream, excuse me, of income. And then also, if you want to check us out on our website, check out past guests, you can do so by going to, and what else, we're doing, you can go to www.chitchatchewshow.com. Again, that's www.chitchatchewshow.com.
Well, we stay updating that website, so please
Yes,
bear
we
with
do.
us. We doing multiple things at one time, so we got our hands in everything that we're doing. So just please bear with us. So if you see something missing on there, don't cuss us out about it. It
Yeah,
will
that
be
would,
on there shortly.
yeah, that wouldn't be nice, so don't do that.
And I also want to plug one more thing in now. Since we're in May, now we have mentioned this last week on the show that to show our appreciation for you guys supporting our show and listening in as well, we wanted to hear from you. What's your favorite song? Give us your favorite song, and we will actually play it on the show. It has to be a good song, because we're not going to play anything. We don't care what genre, because we're not caught up in what sounds like what. Good music is good music. So the first 8 people, if you have a favorite song, please comment in the in the comment section on this Facebook Live, or if you want to leave Jade a inbox or me a inbox, we'll definitely look into that. And so because we're gonna be filtering through all the songs, so the first 8 we're gonna play on the show, and if we have over 8, we'll play the next month and the next month. So this pretty much will be an ongoing thing. So I wanted to plug that out there. So to my listeners and to the supporters of our show, if you have a favorite song, please tell us what that favorite song is, and we'll give it a listen and we'll play it on our show. I just wanted to put that out there.
You told them the date?
The date is actually May
15.
15. May 15. So 7 to 8 p.m. That's when we're starting the playlist for you guys. So that's gonna be the whole hour dedicated to you.
Absolutely. So make sure that you get that into both of us, one of us, both of us, so we can put you out there.
And then if you want to play your own song, that's fine too. Just send it through email, chitchatchew_show@yahoo.com.
Absolutely.
All right, so now let's get to serious business. So can you tell the listeners and supporters a little bit about yourself?
So first I want to give praises, appreciation, gratitude to the higher power that be, creator, universal spirit. I'm a spiritual person, constantly learning and growing as I go. I like to, because without that, without the creative forces, I would not be here to speak. When I tell you that this is extremely difficult, if you see me on Facebook and I look like I'm calm, cool, and collective, trust me, I have anxiety right now. But I'm going to walk.
Well, that's normal.
Which is normal, and I'm going to walk through this with you guys because this is something that I chose to do, not anything that Uno or anybody else asked me to do, but because I'm already like in this field, and it is a passion of mine, both professionally as well as personally. This is my continuous healing for myself. Because it's been a long time. So I like to first give a shout out to my family, my mom, Virginia Brown, aka Jen.
Shout out to Miss Brown.
To my daughter, Sade Brown, aka Sally. To my son, Var, known as Musa. Peace and blessings to you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Um, to the true wealth, let me change that. I'll get back to that. But to the Contents and Osby family,
Yes, ma'am.
I
Shout out to everybody, even on your side. Shout out to your family too.
and I appreciate you guys welcome me in the family. To the my SGI Buddhist family, Soka Gakkai International, all over the world, but originally starting in Philadelphia. I appreciate y'all. Nam Yoho Renke Kyo.
Shout
Um,
out to SGI.
to my new family, the Evolution Travel,
Shout out to
the
Evolution
Evo
Travel.
family,
You guys are
One
great.
Band, One Sound, We Movement.
Yeah.
I like to thank my business partner, Krista Stewart. S- Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Sylvia, Atia, Kimmy,
Shout out to all
Shanice, to
y'all.
all of you guys. David,
Michael.
who is the founder of Evolution Travel, Michael as well, who I met most of them except for David at a launch party in Atlanta. I appreciate y'all, and I'll tell you about that business later. So I just want, and for those who I did grow up, who I did grow up with, who was positive then and positive now. So I just want to get that out the way. So about me, this is May, of course, which is one of the awareness is Mental Health Awareness Month. So for me, I have to say, I believe that I always believed that I was different. Um,
In what way?
One, because I'm the only child, and and I've had that only child syndrome for so long. I could spend hours. I used to spend hours when I was younger playing by myself. My mother was protective, very protective of me. I did play with other children, let me say that, but my mother was very protective of me. I get it now. I didn't get it then, but I get it now. Um, and so I always thought that something was different. I can't quite explain it, I guess, but growing up, I was teased. I was called red, yellow, Oreo. Um,
And these from people like
these are
kids
from
from the neighborhood.
adults and children, the neighborhood, family, and family like.
Okay.
That verbal abuse is something very serious. People always focus on the physical, and I'm not taking away from the physical, because
Verbal is
physical
just as
abuse
destructive.
is destructive. Again, verbal abuse is just as destructive as physical abuse. And sometimes, depending on the individual, you can carry that with you for life
Oh yes.
or for a very long time. And that has been me for a very long time. It has affected relationships, whether it's a love relationship or a friend relationship or family relationship, work relationship, so it's affected me. Um and so yeah, they used to tease me. I can remember at the age of about 5 walking to the bus stop, and faithfully every day this boy, I don't even know who he was, but this boy in an apartment would let his dog out every day on me. And so I'm running and screaming and crying, and he never bit me, but he nipped me. But he scared me. I was 5, so
Because you didn't know. You thought
I'm
he was
little.
Gonna,
I
he
was
gonna
right.
literally bite you and hurt
Right,
you.
I'm little, and this dog is chasing after me, and I don't know how to defend myself, because one, I was never taught really kind of how to defend myself, and two, I mean, I was small and young and didn't know no better, I guess. So I'm running until finally the dog stopped chasing me, and he went back, and then had to go to the bus stop, and then I would get teased and picked with at the bus stop, pushing me, bullying me, calling me names and things of that nature, and being told I thought I was too cute because, my mother used to, keep me clean and maintained and dressed nice. But kids then, like now, they bullied you if you weren't like them or if
Yeah,
you
if you
were
didn't,
different.
yeah, if you looked a certain way,
Right.
if
And
you
so,
wasn't in, you wasn't if you wasn't popular, you was the outcast.
yeah, I was that quote unquote black sheep, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah, I was an outcast in their eyesight. And so that went on for many years. But prior to 5, at the age of 4, I was molested by a family member. Well, not a family member. Let me change that. He was close to the family. He was a taxi cab driver who was close to the family. I think he had liked my mom, but my mom wasn't giving him any play. And so, but she trusted him enough to take me to the babysitter while she go to work because she had to provide for both of us and make sure that we were maintained. So she trusted him to take me where I needed to go. And from the age about 4 to 7 or 8, I was sexually molested by him. And of course, being young, I knew no better. I thought it was okay. I didn't really see anything wrong with it. And so it went on. And because I was shy and I really didn't speak a lot, you know, being young, I never said anything. So I carried that with me.
In black community, it's something you just don't do. Like, you don't even talk about it. Like, if someone young that gets molested or raped, you would think, like, you're embarrassed, you're ashamed, and then you got to deal with how the parents going to react to it. Is they going to, take heed to what happened, or are they going to blame you? Like, you just want attention, or you trying to cause confusion between family and break them up. Like, so was you worried about all that repercussion?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't tell my mother till I was full grown, full grown. Um, because growing up, right, exactly, the shame, the embarrassment, the if I tell, will I get beaten? Will I get a whooping? Will I be believed? Because then it would speak when you. Well, I can speak for myself and my household. It would speak when you was spoken to. You didn't speak unless you was
I'm
spoken
sure
to.
that was a lot.
So you just didn't say those things. And it's sad, but yet so common in the black community that this is the same story from a lot of people. And that you don't say nothing. You sweep it underneath the rug, or you just forget about it. Don't think about it. Don't say anything.
And if they know, they keep it a secret.
And they keep it a secret. And even like in my mother's generation, my mother has shared some things with me as well. They take it to the grave. They will not. They will not. You can talk to you blue purple
They will
in the
not
face.
speak on it.
They will not speak on it.
Nope.
That's just something that they did not do. And I was probably half of that. I didn't speak about it until I became full grown. And so even with that, I can remember going to church. Actually, I believe that the undiagnosed started from my mother's womb, from her carrying me, just from my mother telling me how people said different things about her. My mother was bullied, you know, when she was a child. Same type of thing, light skin, you think you're better. All of this just nonsense.
Do you think your mother suffered with mental illness?
Yes, I believe that she did. I have looked at some pictures that she's had, and if they're not ripped, they're scratched out because I can even remember sometimes my mother telling me that she felt ugly. And because people told her that she was ugly, she kept that in her head.
Yeah, she
Her
actually.
self-esteem, she believed it.
Yeah, she really believed that
She
was
believed
that.
it.
Because it's
And
been beating her head so long.
right. And that era, she racial profile. My mother has experienced racial profile from Caucasian people. We have a call.
Let's see what's going on.
I'll continue.
Caller, you live on the air. Caller. Hello? Caller, you live on the air. Alrighty.
We'll catch you next time. So yeah, it's just, she's experienced things, in her generation. I've experienced things in my generation. My children has experienced things in their generation. And so I believe that there are a lot of undiagnosed people than diagnosed.
Yeah,
I really do.
I can believe that.
I really do. And so with that,
Some people feel they don't have a mental illness.
some people do. And that's their choice. They're right. Every person is different, but for me, I have a diagnosis, and moving forward past 7, just tons of verbal abuse from people that's blood family, people that I grew up with, calling them family members.
How about your mother? Same thing.
Mother, including my mother. And this is Facebook world, and whoever hears my voice, this is not to put my mother down, because I love my mother unconditionally. I will go to jail for her. I don't know if you really understand the relationship that me and my mom have now. As well as with any parents, you're going to have good and bad between parents and parents
it ain't perfect.
and children, and it's not perfect. It's not. So have I had this white picket fence relationship growing up? No. Have I had a decent? I've had a decent upbringing, and I'm definitely appreciative of what my mother has done and taught me. But at the same time, I've had issues and still suffer with some of them issues. A lot of it I've just asked for forgiveness for myself. And I've had even a conversation with my mother within, the last year, where she felt that she's asked me for her forgiveness if there's anything that she's done wrong to me. So I had to forgive.
Yeah, so
because
y'all recently had this conversation?
This was like within the last year, maybe earlier part of this year.
Oh, wow.
And we had a conversation, because my mother now is diagnosed with dementia, which is progressing. And that's something that's hard for me to talk about, because I am private about a lot of my personal life unless you're in a relationship with me or my family. So that's why I say, when I put myself out here and expose myself and become vulnerable and intimate with you guys, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this because this is a healing for me, and I choose not to suffer in silence anymore. And I hope that I can touch one person, or I hope that one person is listening, because mental illness is real.
Very real.
And it's a
real.
struggle. It could be a daily struggle.
Yes.
And so even with my dad, may he rest in peace. I've had daddy issues as well. And I felt really bad when I could not, because of his family members that would not come and get me to take me to his funeral at that time. I just needed a way down. I could have got my way back. But, sometimes family can be your own worst enemies.
Yep.
Or they can,
worse than the strangers on the street.
Or they can be your biggest triggers as well.
True.
So I didn't get a chance to see him, but I did get down eventually with Uno. We took a little vacation, and I made peace at the water. We went to Miami, and that was my way of making peace, because water and nature is very soothing and healing for myself. And so I made peace with that. But my dad, for whatever reason, wasn't him. He was a part-time dad. It is what it is. And but I always knew him. You could not tell me I was not a daddy's girl. Didn't matter. It didn't matter because I didn't see it then. I just knew that when I saw him, I was the happiest little girl back then. My dad was around. I was so happy. I have pictures. My mom has pictures of me, when he was around. I'm sitting on his lap. I'm happy. I'm smiling in the pictures. But then as I got older, I had to see things for myself. My mother never, never, ever disrespected my dad by calling him out in any disrespectful way. She said, "You will have to learn on your own."
That's
And
the best way to learn.
and I learned. And I saw it for myself. So I'm not mad at her for that, and I respect her for not doing that.
Yeah.
Because so many mothers
We're bitter.
are bitter and scorned that
It was,
and will do that.
yeah, throw shade, seek revenge, ruin a man's life, all
And then
kind of
that
stuff.
could have the child stuck in the middle on who's right, who's wrong,
Right.
and the child is
It's like-
having all
it's
these
tug of war. They
emotional,
pull it back and forth.
all these emotional feelings.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I had daddy issues for a long time because my dad used to just be the dad who he is. He was a ladies' man, and I used to tell him, you know what, you pimping me out for a woman to get a woman. But again, that's who he was, and I hope that he's in a better place peacefully. And so I'll leave that where that's at. And so I've had just the cousins and the cousin likes and just piss poor relationships with men because I have children, so obviously.
Well, since you talk about men, I know you spoke on, being molested and then, the issues that came with that. So, how was your dynamic with men after you had got molested and then have to being around different people? Because like you said, it does affect relationships. It don't have to be necessarily an actual relationship. Sometimes it could be just dealing with people on a regular basis. So how was that for you?
So I've never really trusted people, to be quite honest. I put on the best front ever. I think that I should have a Grammy Award at times because I will put on a face. Hi, yeah, I will do that because that's my cover up from people because I'm better, but I'm not where I want to be at, but I am better, but I don't trust a lot of people. So when I allow people to come into my space, my personal space, that's serious for me. And I'm hoping that people don't fuck it up.
Right.
I just gotta say it like that.
Right.
You fuck it up, that's like you have stabbed me in my back. Because that's just how serious I take it. And I've learned that I've had to leave a lot of people alone because a lot of people have triggered me mentally, undiagnosed and diagnosed.
Do
And
men trigger you
and
still?
yes, men still do trigger
Do
me.
you
Now,
feel uncomfortable around them? Or
Some.
you can't be around them?
now let me say, once upon a time, I hated men. And the reason why I hated men is that I was raped as an adult at the age of, I had my son in 91. So I was raped in 91. So by then I really hated men. Before then I was very uncomfortable with men. Because men would always see me as, oh, look at that little light-skinned thing. Ooh, I like that light-skinned thing. Ooh, you pretty. Oh, you thick. Oh, you curvy. Or they would just say things that would really make me feel uncomfortable.
So they just saw you as some object, piece of
They
object.
saw me as an object, or I wanna have sex with her. And that made me feel very uncomfortable. So yeah, by time I was an adult, I hated men. Though yes, I do have children, so obviously. But you know what I will say, as I've stated, you did two things great for me. That was my mentality at that time. You did two things that were great for me. I have children. Because, I wasn't going to get artificially inseminated. So, yeah. And um, that's when I got diagnosed, when I got raped. I got diagnosed after
So
that.
you went to a medical clinic to find out that you was diagnosed with a mental
I
illness?
got taken to the emergency then. The rape happened August 31st, 1991. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but his name is Israel Santiago, which I will never forget his name. I have no idea who he is. And so yeah, and it happened in Philadelphia, where I lived. And I mean, it's just as clear as day. He robbed and raped me. And there were people walking past me that saw it. There were people that were in cars that saw it. There was one car with a group of white boys that they stopped and they looked and they laughed. And they made other comments I don't really know. And they got back in the car and they left. And I'm grateful for the one cop that came out of City Hall and stopped, because he could have killed me,
Hmm.
because he had a weapon on him. So, they got him. They took him in, booked him, blah, blah, blah. 30 days he stayed in jail. And I guess because I had piss poor legal representation, public defender, he got off. And I went to Jefferson University Hospital in Philly. And that's where, do the swab test, do all that, found out I had been raped. And I have family members. One of them is deceased now, but I have family members. And they asked me, they came and got me, and they asked me, what was you wearing?
Wow.
I was on my
They
way.
actually asked you that.
They asked me what I was wearing. As a matter of fact, I was on my way to work
What does it matter with you?
with a former friend. We were on our way to work that night. Just for the record, I had a shirt and I think some leggings on, but I was appropriate, and we were on our way to work. And she left me, as a matter of fact, because his intentions, I think, was to catch one of us to rob us, or to catch both of us. But unfortunately, me running, I tripped, and I was fighting them off, and that's how that story go. And she left me. She left
Like
me.
she intentionally
She
left.
intentionally. She didn't run to get help or run to pick something up or even stay to hit him like it's two females and one male.
But even with that, she still could have helped you. You know, I mean, I don't know. No, I mean, she might have felt like she couldn't fight him, or because he's, I mean, naturally strong because he's a
Because he's a
male.
man.
But still,
But she didn't run to get help or anything. Like, she literally left me. She left me. So that was heartening. Very heartening. But nothing more heartening to hear your blood family ask you, what was you wearing? That's even traumatizing talking about it right now. But I'm going to still continue. So with that, I was diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. I was diagnosed with major depression because I can't even begin to tell you how depressed I was. Anxiety. So that's where that journey started. And of course, I've had panic attacks off and on. I couldn't sleep. Nightmares. And the nightmares not only came from that experience, but the nightmares came from piss poor relationships with men, with verbal abuse with that. Lots of verbal abuse with that.
I mean, as far as men concerned.
Men are concerned. Lots of verbal abuse with that. I've had physical abuse. from a man who choked me and threw me in the wall, and I had broke my leg and had to be taken to the hospital. And I've had verbal abuse with women as well. For those that don't know, yes, I'm a lesbian. So, I'm exposed.
And there's abusive relationships in
And
the
there's
LGBTQ world too. It ain't no different.
And there's very much abuse in the LGBTQ world as well.
They
So
don't want
I've
to talk
had
about
it.
it, but it's true.
Excuse me, I've had it from both. And people say, well, you just need a good man.
No.
No, 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 nope. Sick of hearing that. So I've had physical abuse from women as well. But I fought just like I fought with a man. I'm fighting with a woman. So I mean, financial abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. Once upon a time, which with my mental health diagnosis. Well, let me just say, prior to that, from me having my first child, which is my daughter, I went into a postpartum depression. I flatlined having her for a split second. Just a lot of overwhelming stress with carrying my daughter. I was pretty much banned from the church that I was in. I could go, but I could not participate in anything anymore. They were shameful of me. Family members didn't like me. They were very disappointed with me. But I like to let them know, if they don't know, I continued to go to college and got a degree being pregnant. I went to 2 schools, so I have a degree and I have a certificate. So I still accomplish every day going to Newark, New Jersey to college and school and being pregnant. And I finished. And I'm proud of myself. And so that was very heartening. I felt like I had nobody, but I'm going to call people out. I like to thank Francine, my daughter's, one of her godmothers, for really, really being there for me, because I had nobody that was close to me. Nobody. I had one, okay, so I had that as far as that's concerned. And then I did have a friend who I went to school with, Basima, because we went to school together, and she was by my side as well. So I appreciate her. Even if she can't hear me now, I hope that she can feel my kindred spirit, as well as Francine. Hope she can feel my kindred spirit as well. So after having my daughter, I went into this postpartum depression. That's where the drinking and the drugs came in. I didn't know how to handle that, having postpartum depression. I'm living home. Things is going on at home.
I mean, you was homeless?
No, I was.
You still live with your mom?
Still living at home with mom.
Okay.
But just a lot was going on there. Just everything.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not here to blame, but my reality is what it is.
It's a story. It's your story.
And so I started drinking. Nobody forced me. I totally chose to do it on my own. Being the inquisitive person that I was then, I want to drink. And then I started getting into the drugs. Started smoking the weed. I said, okay, this is good, but I need more. Tried the cocaine. I said, okay, this ain't bad either.
You get that extra kick.
But I still needed something more. I went to the crack. So I'm a recovering addict. I sure am. I know some of y'all might be shocked, but guess what? It's all Gucci right here. I've been clean 10 years strong.
That's right.
10 years strong. I'll give myself a clap.
I'll give you a damn clap.
10 years strong. Because I tell you,
that's a big accomplishment, man.
I've been around people, and there's no judging over here.
No judge and jury now.
But my psyche, I've been around the best of them, and
Cause some people they don't come back from that. Like
a
when they
lot of
on
people don't come back from it.
doing cocaine or doing crack, they stay on it for years, and it messes them up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Definitely, you can see it all on them.
I was one of them professional junkies, one of them professional addicts. Boy, I go to work, make my money. By the time that Thursday and that weekend get here, man, you might as well forget about it. I'm going to church high. I ain't gonna lie. I know some of y'all done been to church high and drunk. Don't act. But I sure did once upon a time. This is my story, so I'm telling y'all what my story had looked like. I can remember running down. I can remember being in Jersey on the New Jersey train track in Royale, New Jersey, hanging around with another person that got high, running down the tracks because he's so lit. He wanna physically abuse me, and I'm running down Royale in Royale, New Jersey, down the track while the damn Amtrak train is coming. I know only the spirit itself, the creative forces, was with me because I should not be here. I've even ran down the trolley tracks in Philly. Hi, what? Boy.
That stuff take you somewhere else. It does.
So I'm just so grateful and appreciative for every day, the good, bad, and indifferent.
The Creator's good.
He is good.
You got to thank him for it. I mean,
definitely.
The forces. It's not a he or she. The forces. Thank the Creator.
And then I've also had to deal with my kids being diagnosed with a mental illness. And that triggered me.
So when was they diagnosed? Like what ages?
My son was 2 at the time, and my daughter was 6 at the time. And they, too, have been sexually molested by a husband and wife. And that just took me way somewhere else. I've been homeless. And, being a mother that I am, my children will always come first. Even now, they get on my nerves. My son is not with me right now, but I hope for him to be. My daughter is here in Atlanta. She's
like, Mama said that, I get on her nerves.
Yeah, she know that. I tell her to her face. I ain't scared of her. Love you. But, that was very traumatic. And so we've all dealt with things in our own ways, whether it was legal. Yes, I've been locked up. I sure have.
And what was you locked up for?
Attempting to hurt the people that hurt my children. Yep, I sure did. I'll say it again. You hurt my babies at that time, I wanted to off you. And I sure did try.
Well, you have the right to do that, but yeah.
Nevertheless, I'm free. I'm free. I'm here. And so with that, being the mother that I am, that mentally triggered me, and of course, triggering them for them to be diagnosed. And
just from all that they've been through, like
all of what they've been through and been exposed to. If you a true mother or a true parent, you're gonna do what you need to do to make sure that your children are as safe as they can be. And so that's what I did. I made sure that they was in a place, even if I was on the street homeless, that I know they don't remember, but I do. I can remember being homeless because at that time, an apartment that I was living in Philly, I had bum landlords, and because I didn't know my rights as a tenant, everyone in that apartment complex got kicked out. And so I was thinking, well, let me see if I can go stay with my aunt because she has a 3-bedroom. Nope, that didn't happen. I was told that I had to learn, and I'm gonna take you and your kids to a shelter. So that's what
So what
happened.
made her want to do that? Take them to the shelter. Why she just couldn't keep them and take care of them until you get on your feet?
I don't really know what her reasonings are, and again, she's not here on this earth with us anymore, so I don't know.
'Cause it's not. I mean, that wouldn't have been a good idea to put them in a shelter. Cause I mean, there's so much going on.
And it was so much going on in the shelter. Yes, it was. And so once I finally got myself together and got out that shelter and got myself an apartment, um, well, before I got myself an apartment, while me and my children were both in the shelter, due to the fact that my son was 4 years younger than my daughter, he was not school age. I had to attend to him. And my daughter was school age, and I did not want DIFAS or DFACS to come and take her away from me, so I had to place her in a school. And so I put her in a school that was local, where I could see her every day, called Girard College, which I like to say I appreciate them for the time that she was there, because they were so supportive and caring for my daughter. It was nothing that they would not do for her. So Miss Rainey, I like to say thank you. She was one of the house mothers there. I like to really, really thank her, because at that time in my life then, she was so helpful. Anything I needed, if I needed just a little break, like, she really looked out for my daughter. And I know now that my daughter wonders why I did that for her. And
She know.
I know she's probably hurt by that, because she has expressed that before. But Day, I love you. I did what I thought was best back then. She had really gotten a good education, and trust me, I saw her I was on top of it. And so, sometimes siblings may think you like one more than the other, and I get it, even though I'm an only child, but I get it. But I loved and love my kids to present, and they're grown unconditionally. Nobody comes before them. No one. No one.
As it should be.
No one. I will go to jail.
I would hope not.
No one.
Some mothers don't. They don't have that kind of mentality, because some put others before their own seeds. It's sad.
It is.
I mean,
It
you're
is
a
very
real
sad.
mother, because
It is
you
very
got some
sad.
trifling ass mothers out here.
So moving forward with all of that, and knowing the diagnosis that I've already put out there, just more. I got robbed. I got robbed.
And you're speaking of what we talked about, what you told me when you got robbed.
I got robbed here in Atlanta at gunpoint a couple years back. Something else to add to my trauma.
So that they gave you like flashbacks of what happened.
Flashbacks of
Past.
everything starting from the age of 4 up. Because I was standing at the bus stop waiting to go to work at 5 something in the morning. My normal routine. And here comes a group of 3 young men that decide they wanted to stop. And all they got was $6 and a Target bag. Did they get the phone? I don't think they got the phone. No, they got the phone.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't call nobody.
I couldn't call nobody. I had the MARTA man at that time, the bus driver. He let me call my supervisor and call my daughter. And when I called my daughter, she was like, "You got robbed." I don't know how she knew it before I even opened my mouth. And I was right down the street, so I didn't have to walk. I didn't have to walk far. My supervisor from my job at that time wound up coming. And she picked me up and she took me home after I got finished with the police officers. But the strangest thing is that I normally stand there. It's well lit. I normally stand there by myself. But this one particular time, when I got robbed, there was a man. So I know I've been watched, because nobody normally stands there with me. But that one particular time, that man stood there, and He watched, and when they got my $6, a cell phone, and a Target bag, when they took off, he left. He walked off. And so everything happened. I'm hearing voices. I'm seeing things. Just everything is turned upside down. And so with that, my major depression now is major depression with schizoaffective disorder, which means you can hear and see things, one or both.
Do you continue to hear or see things?
From time to time, I do.
What triggers it, or it just come randomly sometimes?
Randomly. It can come randomly, and I still don't sleep well. Honestly, the only time I do is when I'm with you,
Yeah.
when I'm with my best friend who is so supportive of me with no judgment. And when I mean when she says no judgment, she means that, because I've been in past relationships where people, say that they understand or they might can identify to what I'm going through. But the minute when shit hits the ground, they ready to want to point a finger.
Yeah.
And they ready want to throw you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Shit is real for me.
That shit is dismissing when you automatically call somebody crazy.
Or they say, "Did you take your meds?" You know what I'm saying? Did I take my meds? Or the reason why I'm acting the way I'm acting is because she bipolar. They just quick to throw.
The normal labels, man.
Right, the labels,
judgment,
the judgment, the stigma, oh my God, is she really saying that on Facebook Live to the world? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm true to myself.
Much shit I see on Facebook, y'all don't need to post. Cause I look at it, I be like, what the hell? But whatever, that's a whole nother conversation. But I definitely understand her. I understand Jade so much, cause I live with a mental illness. So, from her knowing that puts her at ease, and she know that I can identify with what she's going through, because I'm living with it every day.
And every day can be a challenge. Now, don't get me wrong. For those, you can just in general, not even going through what I've gone through, or so many of us, you can still just in general, just because I live with a diagnosis, don't mean that I just can't have a day where I'm having a day and I'm just not feeling it or feeling whoever.
I feel that's not normal if you don't have a bad day.
People in general just have stressful, bad days.
It's
okay.
To me, if you don't have a bad day.
I don't, cause since I'm getting older and I'm becoming more conscious and I'm knowing myself and I'm loving myself, because honestly, I never knew what it would be like to love me. I'm not talking about trying to love somebody else. And then I sit back and I wonder, okay, the reason why maybe some relationships was messed up was because I wasn't loving me. I wasn't.
It starts with you first anyway.
It starts with me. It starts with you first. I never knew how to love me. I never used to like looking in a mirror at myself. I never used to like to say positive things about myself. I could say positive things and all that I should have been doing for myself. I could give it to other people, but I couldn't give it to me. My self-esteem was nothing. Big front, big smile on the face. Cause I figured because I didn't trust anybody, so why would I want to open my heart and expose myself or become vulnerable when I didn't believe that a lot of people really cared anyway? So I keep it all bottled in. Till one day I went to go visit my mom, full grown, and I just had to have a heart to heart before she got sick. I had to have a heart to heart. One day she said, "Well, why don't you go around that corner and say hello to JB?" That was the gentleman, if I didn't say it earlier, who molested me at 4. I said, "Ma, I really don't want to go around that corner and say nothing." And I broke it down and I told her. And then at that time, she said to me, "Why didn't I say anything?" And I explained to her, back then, that's just what you didn't allow me to do. But then I moved forward with that. But guess what? I went around the corner and I approached him and I wanted him to know that I knew what you did to me. That took everything in me. Everything.
Took a lot of strength, dude. Courage
Everything.
and strength.
Everything. Because I looked at that man like he was a father figure. I knew he wasn't my dad. But I looked at him like a father figure. Because you helped my mom you helped my mom by taking me to babysitters or taking me wherever I needed to go because she needed to go to work to provide for her and myself. You even introduced me to your daughter. I knew where he lived. I've been in his house. And how dare you do that to me? So I let him know. I let him know. And when I was done, that was it, and I left. He is not here anymore with us, but...
How long ago since he passed?
I'm sure it's probably been years now. It's been years now. But this cycle in our black community needs to stop. I don't know how we're going to do it. But if you're not scared, speak up. You do not have to suffer in silence. And I know maybe some people, they just won't say anything. And I can't make you, and I'm not trying to make you. But for those that are looking,
but make a step though.
Looking for help, trying to figure out what that step is. Hell, you can Facebook me. You can reach out to me. Your conversation will be between you and I, because I didn't have a whole lot of support with it. And I know it's a lot of times people don't have zero support. And when you're living with a mental illness, people push you away. People can kick you out.
Because they don't know how to deal with you.
And they don't know how to deal with you. And it's well for the LGBTQ community too.
Same thing.
That's taboo.
Yep.
It is taboo.
Same thing. Ain't no different. Let me say, straight community, the LGBTQ ain't no different than y'all. We go through shit too.
And everybody is individually different of why they are in the LGBT community. And you have to hear people's story. We all have stories. We have our experiences. And we got to break this stigma, this taboo. And so with that, and being the advocate and the activist that I am, especially when it came to my kids, I made sure that they got what they needed in school, out of school. I stayed up at the school so much, I wound up working for my kids' school. I was involved. This was one parent that was involved. And it would have been nice to have the father figure in it, but the fact is that it wasn't, and I could not keep using that as a crutch. Because we both were grown, and you make the choice on what you do. And I like to say that, I took on like what my mom did. Like, I never spoke ill about my kids' father because that wasn't my choice to do. I needed them to make their own decision on that, as they have. And I even stepped back with that. As long as nobody ain't getting physical with nobody and I got to throw hands, we good. Because I still would throw hands at my age.
Hey,
don't get it twisted.
Just so you know, yeah, Jay got them hands now. She be thugging.
No, I try to keep it cute and professional because
she do. I'm just joking, y'all.
Damn,
she a thug for real?
I like to keep it professional because I am in a different place emotionally. I am. It's about building in the community, building businesses. So I am in a different space, but you trigger me, I'm going to kind of forget a little bit and step out. So, Evolution family, I mean no harm, but that's just who I am. but I know how to conduct myself. I am professional. But just that with my kids being the advocate and the activist. So yes, I've rallied, I've marched for equality and mental health and homelessness and women with children and all those type of things. That's what got me in wanting to get more involved in special need. That's what made me want to get more involved with that whole arena. And I do consider myself to be a humanitarian. No, I can't save the world. I wish I could, but I can't. But I can put a dent. I can make a small difference. It got to start from somewhere. So I found out about NAMI in Philly after I was diagnosed, and I went to a group. And at that time it was specifically for LGBTQ community, and it really helped me. Now I'll be telling a lie, if different, but it was helpful. And I've been other places that was helpful. I've been family support group, individual, yes, I've seen psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors. Yes, I know y'all gonna have a lot to say, but it's all good though. And so once I left, I never saw anybody in Jersey. Had to take me to get to Philly. Once I left the Philadelphia area and surrounding areas, shout out to Darby too. Ooh, that was a lot living there too, but it's all good. It had good and bad points. But anyway, once I moved out the Philadelphia area, I moved to California. Shout out to Cali. Shout out to San Francisco and the Bay Area, Oakland.
Cali.
I became involved with 420. Yes, I'm an advocate.
420 friendly.
I'm very 420 friendly because I was a part of that world then. And I have to say, medicating yourself legally
for
the medicinal purposes
yeah.
definitely works.
Yep.
I am a prime example of it once upon a time. It definitely works.
Yes.
Did I still have mental illness? Yes. It just doesn't go away.
No.
But I definitely was able at that time to handle it better.
You mean when you was in California?
Yes, I was more stable.
So
I worked.
How did spirituality play a part?
Spirituality always first and foremost plays a part.
What was you active in spiritually?
So I'm Buddhist. For those that don't know that I'm Buddhist, but I'm Buddhist with a twist because I'm spiritual. I can incorporate different things and apply it to my life, but I am Buddhist. And so being Buddhist started when I was in Philly. That's where I got Shakabuku, which means I got introduced to the practice, and I joined the practice, and it really, really, really helped because at that time in Philly, yep, I sure was still getting high. Bad relationships. I was working, but that cover up. You know how we can cover up oh so well. And I went. I don't know. I searched them. That's how, because I have dabbed into different practices. I was born from the belly, a Baptist, a Christian.
Like you say, from the womb.
From the womb, and I'm grateful for that because I'm not going to knock. I'm not going to knock it. I am very grateful for that foundation that led me to experience other practices. So, from there, I was after that, for many, 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 many years, I tapped into Nation of Islam. I've tapped into 5 Percenters a little bit.
did you practice the East of Islam?
I did.
Like
Sunni,
Sunni? Yeah.
Sunni, yes. Um, but with all that said, and just discovering myself and my sexuality, I just felt that it was better for me to just step away from anything that had to do with Islam as far as being full-time practice into it because of my sexuality. Can I read it? Of course. I still have some strong points or strong views about Islam that I feel that I can apply, but my practice is Buddhist, which for me, I believe that Buddhism and Islam coexisted together.
Their relationship, I feel like, is a lot of similarities.
So, that's where I'm at. I just say be true to yourself, people, wherever you at. Don't fake it. Please don't. Just don't
You know,
fake it.
some people do.
People
but
do, and people will continue. But for me,
You gotta find yourself.
had to definitely find myself. And so with Buddhism, I found myself.
So you found Buddhism. You found your foundation in Philly.
Found my foundation in
Nami.
Philly
Correct.
with NAMI and with my Buddhist practice.
Okay.
And so spirituality is first. And when I don't have that foundation, I'm off. I have to be honest. I'm off. So, moved to California. First it was Sacramento. Found my Buddhist practice there because it was a lot going on with there between relationships mother being controlling to the point, here we go again, with trying to put us out to be homeless. Just so much emotional, mental shit going on. And
See that at that time that relationship was taking a lot out of you when you was in California.
it was, but it was more so the mother.
Okay.
It was more so the mother taking it out of me, like, wow, like, you're not my mother. Just so controlling. And controlling of the finances as far as how we even got there, I found out. And so, well, I knew, let me change that. But then, on the left-hand side was one story, on the right-hand side was another story. But you know what? Well wishes to her. Well wishes to anybody who I've ever been with in the past. But yeah, that was emotional, and I'm so glad that I found an SGI practice that got me back centered. And so, staying centered and chanting, praying, redirected me.
So it maintained you a lot. Like it sustained you to the spiritually.
Yes,
A lot.
a lot. But prior to that, I was in a very depressive state of mind where I've been suicidal. Yes.
Have you tried to commit suicide?
I have tried to commit suicide. Yes, I have. A few times in different time spaces. Even being here in Atlanta.
What was the first time space?
When I was living in Philly. And going through that time, and I was, in my place. And at that time, just life didn't seem like it was worth it. And I had my son, he was young then. He was laying on my lap. And I had started taking some pills. But then I vomited, made myself throw up. And I called for help. But at that time that it had happened, the weather in Philly was so bad, like SEPTA was shut down.
So this is around wintertime.
This was around wintertime, and I couldn't even, nobody came out. I actually had had my daughter's social worker at that time from Girard College call me and talk me through it, to just talk to me. And so I'm grateful for her as well. I can't think of her name, but I'm grateful for that social worker there as well.
All praises due, man. The creator's, wonderful.
Again, people just don't know it unless they experience
Yep.
mental
They're not gonna
mental
understand.
illness. They will not understand. They
And
will say,
suicide.
and suicide. They will
People are
say,
ignorant.
"Well, why would you want to do that?"
That's stupid. Why would you want to take your life? You need to go ahead and take your life. Then that's how you feel. Stop
Right.
wasting your time. Like, really?
So that was one. That was one bout. Then I've had another bout in Philly due to a bad relationship, and I became a cutter for a little bit. Bad relationship. I was in such a distraught state of mind. I carved in my arm help. So that was difficult. Um, yeah, crazy. And then since being here, now this was not my fault. So at the time, a little unstable. All this just makes me so strong. I promise you, this has made me so strong. All the different things throughout my whole entire life. Um, I was in Cobb County. I want to say that's Cobb County. Isn't
No, I
that
was just
Cobb?
going to ask you about that, too.
Cobb County, where I was at like this Cobb County clinic, and I was seeing this doctor, and he was the only psychiatrist there. And so I went for a follow-up visit, and I was pretty good space, and he was talking to me, asking me how I was doing, and this was February 4th, 2014.
Yeah, because I was in school then. I was at AIU.
This was February 4th, 2014. Never forget it. I went for this follow-up, and this fool 302'd me. He put me in a psychiatric hospital for 72 hours because he felt I was a threat to him, and I promise you people, I did not put my hands on him. Just like I'm talking now is how I was talking to him. He was asking me questions on how I felt. I said, yeah, I feel pretty good. I said, I feel pretty good, but something seemed a little off for some reason. And from there, he 302'd me. And I went out to Wellstar Cobb Hospital, February 4th, 72 hours. He was trying to move me. They was trying to move me. I did not think I was ever going to see my family, see Uno. On February 7th, that was that Friday, I got discharged, and Uno came and picked me up. They
That's
said, you
right.
got a ride? I lied and was like, yep, I sure do. Because, see, they wasn't going to let you go without a ride. You
Yeah.
needed a ride. Yup, I got a ride. They come to pick me up. Where they pick me up at? Okay. And see what these folks like to do. And I'm not here to promote that you should not be on medication, because that's your individual choice. But let me tell you, for me, because everybody is different, for me, I've been there, and those medicines take me to a place that's worse than any crack or cocaine I ever been on at the time. I I'm seeing monkeys, I'm seeing all kinds of animals. I'm tripped the hell out. My kids don't even notice. Or if I told them, they don't even remember, or they put it behind them. But I live with it. I have lived with this. And so it's crazy. It's an experience you can't even think of. And I, to the day, I used to, after that, I used to be, I mean, I became more suicidal with these medications, feeling homicidal, like I want to hurt somebody, you know. having worse nightmares and dreams than I did without. Like it just was just crazy. And I've been on a total of 17 meds. So today, Grady, and any other place, I'm off. I'm off. I'm off medicine. You will not get me as far as my psyche. Now I'm working on getting off my diabetes because I'm type 2 and it is reversible. I believe that with everything in my heart.
I know so.
Is exercise and better diet. Those psych meds, I mean, don't get me wrong now. Them meds physically, I feel a lot of them are no good, but there again, I'm not here to be like, you better get off of them, because that's not for me to say that that is your decision. I choose to not be on those psych meds. No more.
So you feel like there's a natural or holistic
I believe that
way?
there is a natural alternative way to heal my body.
I believe that. I highly believe that. Do you have an idea what could help? Or can you suggest something that you feel would help?
They say, based on mental or physical, garlic, they say onions, they say different type of teas, cinnamon, they say a variety of different things. You can check out Dr. Sabi. May he rest in peace. He was all about healing naturally. They murdered his ass.
Yes,
they murdered him.
He wouldn't.
Along with all of these other
holistic doctors who died out of no damn where.
Exactly.
They got murdered.
Exactly.
You hear it's less publicity about it. You don't hear it in the media. You have to go find out online about what happened to holistic doctors. They are dying left and right because the pharmaceutical companies feel like they're a threat to their finances because they're making so much money off of people being on drugs. It's a billion-dollar industry.
Mm-hmm. So I have to sit. I've had to sit there because I don't go to Grady at this time right now. I had to go to Grady, put on the front, scared as hell because I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell them, yeah, just so they can have it on record. Gotta be honest, because I'm not with Grady anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
And then being scared to say certain things because I'm terrified that you're going to 302 me again if I say something wrong or you feel that it's wrong. So I say just enough.
Just what they want to hear.
What they want to hear. You doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good. Medicine. Yeah, I'm feeling this kind of way. I didn't look up what the medicine side effect. I'm playing the game just like they playing the game. But I just couldn't do it anymore. It just doesn't sit well with me. So no, I'm not on psych meds anymore. I sure am not. I choose that. And yes, I still go through things, but I feel like I have more of a handle on it. I have a different look than when I was on them. It's like you a zombie. Like you just, man, I can't even begin.
A lot of stuff make you sleep too.
Yeah, it make you sleep. It definitely you high. You high as hell.
That's why sleep because you're high.
You somewhere else. Like
and then it might be
somewhere else.
It might be a medicine that's too much, and then you got to switch to another medicine. So if you have a side effect for one, then they're gonna you gotta let them know, okay, this happened to me, and then you're gonna switch you to a higher dose or some other knockoff brand. Like it's just a repeated damn cycle that it goes nowhere. And I'm gonna say from firsthand, I'm not on that shit either. I don't take prescription drugs. I mean, I say with the psychiatric. I mean, the doctor and the psychiatrist. Yeah, tell them what they want to hear.
It's just a shame because I've had people when I've even said, okay, let me try this housing for people. Let me try to get in some housing for people with disability. I mean, I'm not homeless now.
But
I
disability
do
can
have a
be many
place,
forms.
but you know, and I'm grateful for where I reside. But at once upon a time, I was like, okay, let me try for some Social Security. Hell, they ass told me I was overqualified. Okay, and then I had went through these services, and they had sent me to get something to eat because I was hungry. I go in there with other people who are like me, and they look at me like, who the hell is she? What's she here for? Bitch, I'm hungry. What you think I'm here for? I'm hungry. And I was hungry. That wasn't no front. I was hungry. And I had to get a referral to go somewhere. I sure did complain against that organization and the people that worked in it. How dare you
What's the
judge me?
organization?
I can't even remember. It's down on Decatur Street by King Memorial train station. It was affiliated with Mercy Care, but I don't remember the place where they sent me right now. But it
Oh,
was
I can't call. I
affiliated.
know what you're talking about, but I can't
They
call
was
his name.
they
If
was
y'all pass by, yeah, y'all know what she's talking
they
about.
was
If you pass by,
affiliated with Mercy Care. And even with Mercy Care, I've tried some of these clinics around Atlanta. Even with Mercy Care, who I was exposed to. That's not to say that Mercy Care as a whole is bad, but who I was exposed to. She gonna, instead of you trying to assist me the best way that you can, you trying to preach to me. I don't need you to preach to me. What I need is some help, some assistance. And because I speak up and I speak well, I constantly hear people say to me when I write down stuff, if I'm trying to get some assistance at that time, well, you don't look like you have a disability. Well, how the hell does a disability look? We're all not on the street homeless like
looking
that,
dirty,
looking dirty and having to come in. I mean,
looking rough looking and all
like
that.
I've heard conversations in Mercy Care from patients say, "Girl, talking to other people, and I'm there, ear hustling. Girl, if you just come in, be dirty, wear some dirty clothes, have your hair looking wild." This is what these patients are saying to other patients on how to get around the system,
Yep, to get services.
to get services for
They
free.
pimp it.
They pimping it.
Yep.
I just
Same
I don't
thing with Social Security. It's the
I
same
don't
thing.
the same thing with Social Security. I don't have it in me. I just, and this is not the first time I just heard it from being in Atlanta. I heard it from being in Philly too when I went through a program when I was homeless. And the person who interviewed me was some top flight fucker who said to me, "Yeah, so and I had a leather jacket, and that was the only jacket that I had at that time." He gonna say to me, "Well, you got a leather jacket. How you homeless?" What do you mean? Like the ignorance that comes
What they
out of
got to do
people's
with it?
mouths. Like I really said, you know what? I will put your ass on the news. It took that for me to get a place. How dare you? I'm not gonna belittle myself. Maybe that works for other people, to each his own, no judgment on my end, but I'm not going to, because I live with a mental illness. I'm not going to belittle myself. I refuse to.
But what's the definition of disability?
Right.
What? I mean, what is people's perception? Because it's not one way. Disability has many forms. It's different. It's different types of disabilities. You have physical. You got mental. I mean, you can't just base it off. Oh, someone got to look a certain way for them to be disabled. Cause there's mentally disabled people too. You got to come from that aspect.
Mhm.
I mean, from that angle. So, people have they assumptions because how society makes it out to be. Like you have to seem a certain way or look a certain way, or what they categorize as disabled, for them to believe that you're disabled. And so if you're not that, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Mhm. Right. And so after I'm angry and crying at these folks and spazzing out, I'm like, now they looking at me like, ooh, yeah, I gotta get crazy.
You gotta get lit.
I gotta get turned all the way up for y'all to hear me. Like seriously. But yeah. So I got involved with. So I knew about NAMI, which NAMI NAMI stands for National Alliance on Mental Illness. It is a nonprofit organization that does uh, work with individuals, peers that who are diagnosed with a mental disability. All diagnosed, it just is open. There's no certain disability that they deal with.
So they're open to all disabilities.
They're open to all disabilities. Okay,
Gotcha.
so they have family to family groups for individuals who take care of people, to take care of like family members that are diagnosed. They have connection support group, which I am a facilitator with in Atlanta. Um, that group is specifically for peers like me who are diagnosed, where we can come together and be supportive of each other and share resources or motivation or encouragement for each other. There's I believe they're going to be getting into, if they haven't already, like with the school system. They have programs where peers can be trainers to other peers who and train them to get them on board to running their own groups as well. They have another group called In Our Own Voice, which I was trained for, where I go out and I share my recovery and healing story with anybody. So if you're looking, I'm putting it out there, if you're looking for a speaker, I am that girl. I'm that lady. I will go out to churches. I will go anywhere to listen. I hope to one day, with my contact, be able to go out into the juvenile and prison system, because that's another whole area that's not touched on. Men and women who are incarcerated that live with the mental illness, how the system does absolutely nothing for them.
They put it off.
They put it off.
And patch it up.
That's it. That's it. That's what they do.
They don't look at them as human anyway. Once they're in the prison system, you just a commodity. It's a business.
Mhm.
You're just a number to them. That's it. You're not treated human.
Mhm.
So of course they wouldn't care about an inmate having a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
That's not their focus.
That's a whole nother area, boy. They service VAs, veterans, VAs. They service LGBTQ community, straight community, disabled physical disabled. Like they service
from all walks of life.
From all walks of life, all communities. Yes.
That's awesome.
And so when I moved here from California, I was going through some things with that, moving from the West Coast back to the East Coast. I was going through that. And I picked up and called NAMI, and I'm grateful. I have to give him a shout out as well. I'm grateful for Eric Ferguson, who picked up the phone, and that's where our NAMI relationship started. I was a peer in his group, and I got training, and then I would help him if he needed me to assist him in the group, and then eventually, with his mentoring, I am now a facilitator of the group on my own. And also, NAMI has, walks every year to raise awareness and break the stigma for mental illness. And that should be coming up closer to like the fall time. So
make sure you guys come out and support.
Make sure that we'll put that, out there on Facebook. Just this past Saturday, we went to a this church that's in the southwest area. They had their first mental health awareness event where they were a few vendors that was out there. Nami was there, made some great connections. There's going to be another mental health awareness event festival that's coming up on May 20th, so I make sure that I put that out there. I believe I'm actually going to be speaking at that one. A few people had asked me on this past Saturday to speak, so I'm stepping out more because I do want to speak, and even if it makes me uncomfortable, I still want to do it.
Gotta do it.
Because in life, in general, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have situations that's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
that has nothing to do with mental illness. It's just life.
Yep. You're going to do things you don't want to do, but you got to do it.
Exactly.
That's a moral of the story.
So, where I'm at today, I'm learning not to hold no grudges and learning to not hold any anger or animosity, or I'm damn sure through everything I've been through, I've never really felt like a victim. I just did what I needed to do to make sure that my family was good. So today, again, I'm clean, 10 years.
Awesome.
I am doing the show with Uno. We're business partners with Chit Chat Chew. This is very therapeutic for me. This is a field that I've never had any experience in as far as the radio or anything like that.
So
And so we have this business. I'm opening myself up more to in our own voice, where I can go out and speak to people and make them aware, make them knowledgeable of what's going on as far as mental health or mental illness. I just joined. I am a new travel agent.
Woo woo.
And I joined.
Got a class. Oh yeah, that's right. Congratulations, my baby. You're that damn travel agent.
I'm a travel agent through Evolution Travel. I'm very grateful for David, who is the founder of Evolution Travel.
Clap for him.
Absolutely.
For opening
doors
for people.
For people, absolutely.
To pursue something great. So
right.
Shout out to you, man.
Yes, and
for helping a lot of people.
And we were on a webinar through Zoom last night,
yeah.
And it was just, he stepped on folks' toes, including mine, as well as himself, because he was very real with himself.
So what did he say that feel like he stepped on your toes?
Like, no matter, and I'm looking at my phone as I'm speaking to you guys. So it was like, you have to, in life, everybody's not going to be for you. Okay? That means your family, your friends, or people that you're close to. They're not
people that you know.
Or people that you know. They're not going to understand your vision. They're not going to understand your business, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. It's okay if those people say no. You just have to move forward. Yeah. And what I put up on my Facebook wall, which I'm going to let you guys know in a minute, he said, "Be grateful, but never content." Nope. And that stuck out to me because
that's an awesome quote.
When you get to one level, keep going.
Yep.
Don't stop.
There's people you're going to leave behind.
Right. You're going to leave people behind. There's going to be challenges, and I believe that's what he was speaking. There's going to be challenges. Again, that's life. It's going to happen, but you have to know how to push forward. And he also said, like, don't speak one way today and then tomorrow you speaking something different. Be true to yourself all the time. Support each other in this business. That's what it's supposed to be about. A family.
It's always going to grow. If you're not supporting each other, it's going to fall apart.
What the other person may not know, share that with them. Share those nuggets with them.
Stop being stingy.
Stop being stingy and selfish. Share that. Because I always say, You know, you're not gonna get your blessings being selfish and stingy and, you know, oh, I know everything. I got it. You got it. I got it. You got to go get yours. No, because as just like you have it, it can be taken away from you. And so share that.
Some people
Not
don't believe that.
And so that's their karma that they got to deal with. That's how I see that. That's their karma that they got to deal with. I'm the type of person, even if it's not for me, and I know I do it because I do it on a daily. Even if it's not for me, I'm a share it with somebody else. That's just me. I've been like that for many, 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 many years. It's coming out the older that I'm getting, and that's just how it is. And I'm really grateful. I met Krista, and I gotta say her again. I met Krista through a Facebook group.
What's going on, Crystal?
Hey, Krista Stewart, and she's an awesome business partner. I met her. I kept seeing her advertisements in a group that we're both in together, and I said, you know what? I had to step out on faith. I had to believe in myself, because if I don't believe in myself, nobody else is going to believe in me. I have to believe in me first. I have to have that self-care, that self-worth, that self-knowledge, that self-love, that self-respect, and I have to put my faith into action. That's one of the principles that my Buddhist practice. You have to put your faith put your faith into action and never be defeated. Your winter turns into spring. And so I had to believe that. And so I stepped out and I said, I want to join. I told her when I was getting paid. She was cool with it. She said, okay. I joined that Friday, went to the launch party on that Saturday, and I had an awesome time because in the beginning, yeah, I'm not going to lie, my trust issues went up. My anxiety went up. But I had to say a little chant, little meditation, or whatever I needed to
You
do.
had to fill it out.
And I had to fill it out.
Yeah.
And I felt really comfortable. And I felt good. And I brought Uno with me. And we just...
And I was even there too. My antennas is up because I don't trust people. So I'm just being honest. I mean, if I don't know you, I ain't gonna mess with you. I don't trust you. But once I, feel you out, see what you're about, and if I like your vibe, okay, then I can let my guard down. So, and from what I discovered when Jade was there, when I was there with her, it was a great vibe. The people was great.
Yeah, we had an awesome time. Like, it was real. They were funny as hell. Sylvia, you off the chain. Kimmy, you off the chain.
Off the chain.
Kimmy off the chain. Sylvia off the chain.
Turned up.
Atia was cute with it. Michael was professional with it.
But Sylvia
and Kimmy, it's all good. And even though Yolanda wasn't there, Yolanda off the chain too, because I'd be on them calls. I think, what is it, Thursday or Friday? Me, Krista, and Yolanda, Yolanda off the chain too, girl. You awesome though. But I really appreciate Kristen. So yes, we are business partners. We sometimes get on a call and talk, but most of the time we'll text, whatever. But we do communicate. And as I said, I am a travel agent. I have some things to just kind of finish up. But in the meantime, I have to sow that seed, which I'm doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, again, how you get to me, some of the options on how you get to me.
Plugging it in.
Some of the options on how you can get to, and let me just say, yes. Again, I'm Aisha Brown. I was blessed with Jade, actually a Japanese lady in Philly at SGI blessed me with the nickname Jade, and I'm real humble for that because that just fits me. It fits me. I am that jewel. I am that Jade.
Yes, you are.
So, so with that, one of the ways you can reach out is, of course, with Chit Chat Chew. You can go to our group, which is Chit Chat Chew Show, right?
The website?
No. I'm doing a Facebook. Our Facebook,
Oh yeah, Chit
our
Chat Two
group.
Show, comma. Oh, you
No,
talking about
no.
the group? Oh,
The group is Chit
Chit
Chat
Chat Chew
Chew
Radio
Radio
Show.
Show.
There
That
you
is our
go.
Facebook
I
group.
forgot
Chit
to say
Chat
that.
Chew Radio Show is our Facebook group. Our page is Chit Chat Chew Show, comma, LLC. Yes, it is legit because we just paid the fee
Yes,
to renew.
we ain't out here just, we ain't jumping out no window. We
Also,
legal, okay?
exactly. Also, you can reach me personally on my Facebook at Aisha, Aisha Brown, and in the parentheses, even if you put Jade Royale,
It should
that's
pop
going to
up.
pop up. So you can reach me there. I have a Instagram, which is Aisha, Aisha, aka Jade, and I have a Twitter,
Yes, ma'am.
which is
Jade Royale. At
Jade
Royale.
Royale, at Jade Royale. And my newest venture of being a travel agent. So
Oh, here she go.
look your girl up if you're ready to book that travel, honey.
Yeah, holla at Jade
You
now.
better
If
holla.
you trying to book that travel, get your hookup, you better holla at Jade.
Holla at Jade. Holla at your girl,
'Cause
at your lady.
I'm shooting her to you now.
So my page, my travel business is called Lotus, which is in all caps, Lotis. And then
IS or US?
I'm sorry, Lotus. That's in all caps. Lotus Flower Travel. Okay, so look me up, Lotus Flower Travel. You'll see my picture on there, and then there's another picture. I'm all into like Buddhist, very Asian infused and Afrocentric infused, and all of
You
that.
got the styles going.
I'm mixing, and I'm a very diverse person, and so that's where I'm at today. I'm in better space. I was a little off yesterday, and I won't allow that to happen again. I got to be real with y'all. I allowed a woman to say something that had me. I held on that
Well, it
for a
affected
while,
me too. Both of us.
but I'm good. So today I am in good space. I love myself. I respect myself. I self-care myself.
You
I
have to
know
love.
my worth, and I am a queen, nothing
Yes.
less than
Let
a
me
queen.
You are a queen, my beautiful queen. And don't you forget that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just in case you had any doubt.
I am that queen, ladies. You are a queen. The younger adults, you're a princess. Forget the diva. You're a princess.
Nah,
Well,
don't call yourself no
you're
diva.
princess. I know sometimes I've said diva, but I meant good intentions with it. But women, we are queens. The younger ladies, you are
Well,
princess.
let's say black females. We have to be Pacific here.
Our Asiatic
Asiatic people,
our Asiatic women.
black queens, y'all.
Black and
Goddesses.
browns. All
So
our black
carry
and
yourself
browns.
like that. Act like it.
Respect yourself, please. And as a black community, let me also this comes into play to me, in my opinion, as a mental slavery type of thing. Please, let's stop hating on each other's colors,
Please
lights
stop.
and browns and dark.
annoying.
Let's please stop it.
This
Let's
colorism
stop it.
gotta stop, please.
Colorism has to stop because it's not getting us anywhere.
Yep. We still losing the war, y'all. I just want you to know it. We're losing the war. As we going at each other, we getting distracted with each other when we should be focused on the opposition, whatever the opposition is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, those are my how you can get in contact with me. I hope that someone listened, even if it wasn't Facebook Live that we're on right now, but I hope that something that I shared. Let's break this silence. Let's break the stigma.
Starts with you.
Starts with you. Let's get out here. Let's do what we need to do in our communities. Yes, as much as I'm not big of a fan with our legislatives, let's get there too. Let's just do what we need to do. Let's use all of our tools.
Yep,
with
tools,
this
resources,
and our
information,
resources,
knowledge,
information.
whatever
Yes,
it may be that you can
yes.
contribute to building.
That's the key,
Please
building.
do it.
So I hope that I touched somebody. You have any other questions for me?
No, that's pretty much it. You pretty much covered everything. You gonna go
So
ahead.
yeah, again, I love my immediate family. I'm all about family. I've always been about family. I've always been that go-to person. Even when I was young, I've always been that go-to person. So I love my family unconditionally, good, bad, or indifferent. That's who I am. I'm loyal.
Absolutely, you gotta be
And
to your
so yeah,
family.
I appreciate everybody for listening. I did better than I thought I was going to do.
You did great. You sure did.
And
I'm glad you got through it.
me too, cuz it's again,
I know it's tough.
it's tough. It's tough even from a smaller scale to this global scale. It is tough cuz people are hearing me everywhere, not just in Atlanta, everywhere.
Yep, across the world.
Across the world,
It's a global thing.
and I'm challenging you. If you need to talk to me, Facebook me, message me. Our conversations will be just what it is. I'm a good listener. I will listen to you. Anything that within my means that I can do. I'm not a person, I don't have money coming off the tree, but if there's something, sometimes all it takes is just somebody to listen.
Yep.
You never know how you never know the impact that you have by just listening.
Yep.
That can change
That's the
so
problem,
many
people.
things instead of people being so damn dictative. Just listen, just shut
Be a
up
listener. That's
and
it.
listen.
Shut up. Sometimes people need to shut up. They talk too damn much. That's their problem.
Absolutely.
And things don't get accomplished.
Mm-mm.
You're not getting to the problem.
Absolutely. So if you would like to know more information, if you yourself or a loved one needs a safe space or place, just hit me up because we're working on that. We're relocating as far as our NAMI connection support group as well as our family to family support group. We're relocating, so just reach out to me through Facebook. I'll let you know any and all information.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this interview up. But I just want to say for those who tuned into our show tonight, we appreciate you for tuning in and supporting our show and listening to the conversation. And we will see you next Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will have a repost of this show
Absolutely.
from tonight. So if you missed it, you'll be able to tune into it.
Absolutely. So we're going to say peace. I'm going to say peace and blessings. Have a good week, the rest of the week, and make sure love yourself.
First.
Love yourself first.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, I've been stressed all week and shit, and I've been suffering a sleep deficit. Like, I can say the whole alphabet, but can't seem to get a Z for shit. So I'ma lay here and just clear my mind. Justin Timberlake, the end of time is playing on the Pandora station. I've been drinking, and I don't wanna sound like The Weeknd, so I turned it off. They say the idle mind is dangerous, don't wanna get lost in a place I don't wanna be, in a memory that I don't wanna see. Nah. And ain't this a bitch? Don't you hate it when you out of skip? So a nigga just toss and turn, toss and turn. I would turn it off, but the thoughts are burned. Worse than the main spray from an officer. And make you fall in your feelings, get the carpet burned. Damn, damn, oughta caught the vibe, man, damn. time when you think about life. Shit'll have you up all night. No television on, no light in the darkness. Like fuck this, I'ma park this bitch. Roller coaster, I'm getting off this bitch. Then it kicks in, was I really made to go the distance? Am I not reading in the fine print something? Shit. Like checking the haystack for a dime in the sunlight. Why can't I do nothing right? Sipping on something light, waiting on the moonlight to arrive, dear God. I pray a nigga make it through the moonlight without losing my mind and shit. Tally all the shortcomings and accomplishments. Neck deep in the dirt like an ostrich is, with no family to call like a foster kid. It's like down.
It's wide open, break it falling on my window. Hold your fire, I found my new sound the alarm. I'm halfway through, falling deep. I think I'm under your spell, baby. I'm sold. Take me home. I'll be platinum mango. I'm sold. Take me home. I'll be platinum mango. Nowhere to hide. I don't resist your velvet touch. I found my fear. Take your time. No need to rush. No need to rush, baby. I'm sold. Take me home. I'll be platinum mango. I'm sold. Take me home. I'll be platinum mango. We can go anywhere, far or near. Just you and I, crystal clear. I'm so. Take me home. I'll be platinum and gold. I'm so. Take me home. I'll be platinum and gold. Oh, platinum and gold.